Orestes Kindelán, born on November 18, 1966, in the picturesque town of Las Tunas, Cuba, was destined to make his mark in the world of baseball from a young age. Raised in a country with an unwavering passion for the sport, Kindelán's childhood was shaped by the rhythm of baseball. His early interest in sports was nurtured by his family, who encouraged him to pursue physical activities, with baseball being the natural choice in a nation that revered the game. Kindelán's journey into baseball began in the youth leagues of Las Tunas, where his natural athleticism became evident. Known for his powerful build and strong arm, he quickly became a standout player in his local community. His immense talent did not go unnoticed, and by the time he was a teenager, Kindelán had earned a spot in Cuba's prestigious National Baseball School, a training ground for the country's brightest young stars. It was here that he refined his skills, particularly his batting, which would later become the hallmark of his career. As a young player, Kindelán excelled in all aspects of the game. But it was his incredible power at the plate that set him apart. His ability to hit for both average and power earned him a spot on the Cuban national team at an early age, and his rise through the ranks of Cuban baseball was swift. His power-hitting abilities caught the attention of coaches and scouts, and by the time he was in his early 20s, Kindelán was on the cusp of stardom. Peak of career. Dominance in Cuban baseball. Orestes Kindelán's career reached its peak during the 1990s, when he became one of the most feared hitters in international baseball. Known for his explosive bat speed and ability to drive the ball over the fence, Kindelán established himself as one of the top power hitters in Cuban baseball history. His peak was marked by several dominant seasons with the Pinar del Rio team in the Cuban National Series, Serie Nacional, where he became an offensive force that no pitcher could ignore. One of Kindelán's defining attributes was his ability to perform on the biggest stages. His power-hitting prowess was a key factor in Cuba's continued dominance in the international baseball scene. Kindelán was a central figure in Cuba's victory in the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, where the Cuban national team clinched the gold medal in baseball, a milestone in the sport's Olympic history. Kindelán's clutch performances during the tournament and his leadership in the lineup made him one of the most important players in Cuba's golden age of baseball. At the domestic level, Kindelán was a perennial star in the Cuban National Series, routinely ranking among the league leaders in home runs, batting average, and RBIs. His power-hitting ability made him the centerpiece of his team's offense, and his consistent performance earned him multiple All-Star selections and accolades as one of the league's most feared hitters. In 1994, Kindelán reached the pinnacle of his domestic career by setting a single-season home run record in the Cuban National Series, solidifying his reputation as one of the greatest power hitters in the history of Cuban baseball. His ability to hit for both power and average, combined with his leadership, made him an indispensable figure in the Cuban baseball landscape. Main achievements. Orestes Kindelán's career was decorated with numerous accolades and accomplishments, both in Cuban domestic baseball and on the international stage. His impact on the game was felt across the world, and his contributions to Cuban baseball are still remembered today. Cuban National Series dominance. Kindelán played for several teams in the Cuban National Series, but he is most famously associated with Pinar del Rio. His dominance in the league, particularly in the 1990s, made him one of the most respected and feared hitters in Cuban baseball history. His incredible consistency and ability to hit for both average and power earned him a reputation as one of the premier players in the league. Cuban national team glory. Kindelán's success was not confined to domestic baseball. He was a key player on the Cuban national team for much of his career, contributing to Cuba's remarkable success in international competitions. His most significant achievement came at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, where Cuba won the first-ever Olympic gold medal in baseball. Kindelán's clutch hitting and leadership in the field were vital to Cuba's success in that tournament. International baseball titles. Kindelán helped lead Cuba to victory in multiple international competitions, including the Baseball World Cup and the Pan American Games. His powerful bat and ability to perform in pressure situations were central to Cuba's success in these tournaments. He was considered one of the top players in the world during his prime, and his performances in international events helped solidify Cuba's position as a dominant force in the sport. Home run record. Kindelán's achievement of setting the record for most home runs in a single season in the Cuban National Series stands as one of his greatest individual accomplishments. His ability to hit for power was legendary. And this record remains a testament to his extraordinary talent and consistency at the plate. Multiple All-Star selections. Kindelán was selected to numerous All-Star games during his career, a reflection of his status as one of the most talented and respected players in the Cuban National Series. His ability to impact the game in multiple ways, from hitting for power to providing leadership, earned him recognition as one of the top players in the league. Domestic and international success. Throughout his career, Kindelán helped lead his teams to multiple national championships, further cementing his place as one of the greatest players in Cuban baseball history. His ability to perform in the clutch, combined with his leadership on and off the field, made him a key figure in Cuba's success both domestically and internationally. Last years and retirement. As Kindelán entered the later stages of his career in the 2000s, his physical condition began to deteriorate, and injuries became more frequent. Although still capable of contributing to his team, the power that had defined his game began to fade, and the competition in the Cuban National Series grew fiercer with each passing year. Kindelán, ever the professional, adapted his game to remain competitive, but he eventually realized that his time at the top was coming to an end. In 2006, at the age of 39, Kindelán officially retired from competitive baseball, bringing an end to an illustrious career that had spanned over 2 decades. His retirement marked the conclusion of one of the greatest careers in Cuban baseball history, but his influence on the game did not end there. Following his retirement, Kindelán took on a mentoring role within the Cuban baseball community. He worked with younger players, sharing his expertise and experience with the next generation of Cuban talent. His knowledge of the game, particularly in terms of hitting and leadership, made him an invaluable resource for up-and-coming players. His efforts to develop the next wave of Cuban baseball stars were a testament to his continued passion for the sport and his desire to give back to the game that had given him so much. In the years following his retirement, Kindelán's influence on Cuban baseball remained strong. He continued to be a beloved figure in the Cuban sports community, remembered for his power hitting, leadership, and contributions to the sport. His legacy as one of the greatest players in Cuban baseball history is secure, and his name is often mentioned in discussions of the country's all-time baseball greats. Legacy. Orestes Kindelán's legacy in Cuban baseball is one of power, excellence, and consistency. As one of the greatest hitters in the history of the Cuban National Series, he set numerous records and earned a place among the country's all-time baseball legends. His impact on the international stage, including his role in Cuba's Olympic gold medal victory in 1992, further solidified his place in the annals of baseball history. Kindelán's ability to perform in high-pressure situations, combined with his unmatched power and leadership, made him a force to be reckoned with both in Cuba and internationally. His achievements on the field continue to inspire generations of players, and his contributions to the game of baseball have helped to shape the sport's legacy in Cuba. Today, Orestes Kindelán is remembered not only for his remarkable playing career but also for his dedication to the development of future baseball stars in Cuba. His legacy as a player, mentor, and ambassador for the sport endures, and he remains one of the most influential figures in the history of Cuban baseball.